The H1B Guy here. And today, the H1B Guy news for the week ending February 23rd, 2024. Today, I'll cover USCIS processed historic numbers in fiscal year 2023 and H1B lottery passport requirements clarified for fiscal year 2025. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube and like this video so that I can continue to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. I help businesses and individuals solve complex work authorization issues in the recruitment process while bringing awareness to employment-based immigration benefits. If I can help you, please reach out. I'd love to hear how. And you can book an appointment directly with me via the h1bguy.com. Today's news is brought to you by Syndesis, the ideal plan B for high-skilled immigrants currently located in the U.S. whose status may be uncertain. By PERM-Ads.com, the industry leader in providing a seamless experience for employers and immigration attorneys navigating the complex PERM recruitment ad phase of the labor certification process. And by Mob Squad. Are you a technology professional facing U.S. work visa-related challenges? Don't leave your fate up to chance. Our partner, Mob Squad, has a solution. Join the squad. Now, the news. On February 15th, 2024, in a post on Boundless titled USCIS Breaks Records and Reduces Backlogs in Fiscal Year 2023. Quote, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced its achievements for the fiscal year 2023, marking significant progress in its goal to improve the immigration process in the U.S. With a self-proclaimed focus on enhancing customer experience and expediting employment-based immigration, naturalization, and humanitarian efforts, USCIS has successfully reduced its backlog of cases for the first time in over a decade. In an unprecedented effort, USCIS handled over 10.9 million case filings and completed over 10 million, effectively reducing its backlog by 15%. A notable highlight includes administering the oath of allegiance to over 878,500 new U.S. citizens, eliminating the backlog of naturalization applications. This feat also saw the processing time for naturalization applicants drop from 10.5 months to 6.1 months. USCIS also made substantial progress in supporting U.S. employers and foreign workers by issuing more than 192,000 employment-based immigrant visas and extending the validity period of employment authorization documents to 5 years. USCIS said it's addressing the needs of the U.S. labor market while ensuring no available visas go unused. As USCIS moves into fiscal year 2024, it continues to focus on reducing processing delays and maintaining efficient service. With new fee schedules introduced to support operational costs and the expansion of its workforce, USCIS is poised to continue its mission of improving the immigration system. This year's accomplishments reflect USCIS's unwavering dedication to upholding America's promise as a nation of welcome and possibility. Through innovation solutions and a focused approach to addressing both employment-based and humanitarian needs, USCIS is setting a new standard for excellence in immigration services. During the H1B Guy news for February 16th, 2024, I covered a recent research paper from David Beer at Cato Institute titled Green Card Approval Rate Reaches Record Lows. I highlighted this excerpt specifically. Quote, the employment-based green card backlog has grown to 1.8 million as of March 2023, up from 1.2 million in 2018 when the government first provided detailed data. In fiscal year 2024, about 8% of pending employment-based applications will be approved for a green card. Most of these green cards will not go to the applicants who have waited the longest. Instead, because of the country caps, applicants who apply over the next year will pass applicants from China and India, many of whom have already waited more than a decade. In fact, Indians who make up half of the applicants in the employer-sponsored categories must wait more than a century for a green card. I did want to cover this post from Boundless because it paints more of an alternate picture than the research paper from Cato does, specifically where it covers USCIS processed 10.9 million case filings and completed over 10 million, effectively reducing its backlog by 15%. It also highlighted the fact that USCIS processed 192,000 employment based green cards for fiscal year 2023, which ran from October 2022 to September 2023. This is more than 52,000 above the annual allotment for employment based preferences of 140,000. While I do agree that the standards at USCIS have been improved over the last 2 years, I think it's a bit of a reach in stating that USCIS is setting a new standard for excellence in immigration services, because I don't think that the matters could have gotten much worse than what we witnessed in 2020 through 2021. I'm hopeful, though, that we'll continue to see improvements this year at the same pace that we've seen in the last year. On February 21st, 2024, Anna Reef of Greenberg Freiberg for a post on the National Law Review titled New Passport Expiration Requirements for H1B Fiscal Year 2025 Cap. Quote, in preparation for the fiscal year 2025 H1B cap season, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is holding tech talks to delve into the latest USCIS organizational account updates. In this session held on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024, USCIS confirmed that registrants for this year's cap will need to possess a valid, unexpired passport or travel document at the time of registration. This is a new requirement for this year's cap season. Additionally, employers must provide the beneficiary's passport or travel document expiration date, as it is a mandatory piece of the information for registration submission. A concern arises for individuals currently in the process of renewing their passports. This situation could pose a challenge for those who may not have a valid passport during the brief registration window from March 6th to March 22nd because of lengthy passport renewal processing times. In this case, an employer would not be able to submit a registration for a beneficiary without a valid passport. This is a departure from past practice and a new requirement for fiscal year 2025 cap season. If employees need to renew expired passports, they should opt for the fastest processing option available from the government agency that issues passports. DHS also acknowledges that while final passport or travel document requirements could impact individuals who do not yet hold valid passports or travel documents at the time of registration, DHS has determined the described benefits of program integrity outweigh any additional burden to prospective beneficiaries. If an employer submits an H-1B registration with a valid passport, but the employee's passport is renewed before the employer files for an H-1B petition, the employer can include copies of both passports in the petition and must clarify that the passport was renewed or replaced in the petition. An employer may clarify this point in the supplement page for Form I-129, for example. In rare cases where employees cannot renew their passports due to unique circumstances in their countries, such as those experienced by Venezuelan nationals, employers should enter the expiration date of the employee's most recently issued passport. However, if the validity of a beneficiary's passport has been officially extended beyond its original expiration date by decree, the extended expiration date must be entered as per the mandate. Additionally, evidence of the mandated passport renewal by decree needs to be uploaded in the evidence section of the registration form. As we continue to learn more details about the change in policy and process for the H-1B lottery for fiscal year 2025, this update is an extremely important detail. The change in moving to a more beneficiary-centric approach by utilizing a passport or travel document as a unique identifier will help in leveling the odds of being selected. It's imperative that we're provided with details on the expiring passports and that those that are in the process of renewing their passports understand their timeline. My biggest takeaway here are these 2 points. One, if an employee needs to renew expired passports, they should choose expedited processing. And two, if an employer submits an H-1B registration with a valid passport, but the employee's passport is renewed before the employer files the H-1B petition, the employer will need to include copies of both in the petition and must clarify that the passport was renewed or replaced in the petition. I'd like to think there will be a very small group of individuals that will be impacted by renewing an expiring passport during the H-1B lottery registration period. However, when there's a possibility of 300,000 plus unique registrations, there will definitely be some that are impacted. I am thankful that USCIS is holding these tech talks and providing clarification on the policy changes surrounding the H-1B lottery and how to work with them. It's a very important aspect for both petitioners and beneficiaries to understand these changes before the March 6th registration portal opens. For the full post on the H1B Guy news for the week ending February 23rd, 2024, please check out the h1bguy.com. And a reminder that today's post was brought to you by Syndesis, the ideal plan B for high-skilled immigrants currently located in the U.S. whose status may be uncertain. By PERM-ads.com, the industry leader in providing a seamless experience for employers and immigration attorneys navigating the complex PERM recruitment ad phase of the labor certification process. And by Mob Squad, are you a technology professional facing U.S. work visa-related uncertainty? Don't leave your fate up to chance. Our partner, Mob Squad, has a solution. Join the squad. Just like to ask you again to please like this video, subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post new content here to this channel. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Really appreciate your support. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.